Welcome back. Working on a 682. It belongs to one of my great friends that I'm in one of his commercials for his hand cleaner. He manufactures Busy Beaver hand cleaner. This machine used to be mine. I needed a little bit of carburetor work. We're going to start it up after we get done, and I'll show you what I did on that. But I noticed that we have quite a lot of noise in the muffler area. I'm sure one of the end caps is breaking loose. And we're going to, without taking the front bonnet off, we are going to exchange it out, put another one on. So we're going to spray it down with some WD-40. One reason I love WD-40, I love the smell. We're going to take the bolts that go right down to the exhaust manifolds. Takes a ½ inch to take them out. Then we're going to take these side bolts off here. It's going to take a 3/8. This one here, when you don't take the bonnet off, we are going to have to use a wrench. We're going to struggle probably getting that line back up because these, after you take them off, they're usually a lot of work to get lined up. So we'll see. This machine here it fell off a truck. So the front nose piece is a little bit bent on the frame down here in the bottom. I actually had to shim it to get the front clip on when I worked on it last time. To get the muffler off, it'll be easy. Putting this shield on will be the toughest thing. So we're going to go to the other side and get them two bolts off. Now, when you have a muffler going bad in one of these, it's going to make a lot of racket. You definitely want to get it replaced. It'll make a lot of heat coming out the side. You're going to think you have a rod that's going loose. And I can't stand the sound of it, to be honest with you. The customer didn't even complain about it, but I want it fixed. So this is going to be the tight area right here. Take your time taking it out. I did not put the air cleaner back on for that reason. And right here, I'll get you right in there. I'll show you what the issue is. And this will cause a lot of noise. But right here is your issue. Look at that. What are the other side? The other side is tight. And actually, I'm going to take it off, replace it, and I might just put a little bit of tack weld on there and try to replace it, especially if it has an international emblem on it. We're going to spray it down with some WD-40 on the clamps. Let it soak for a minute. It is hot. You can see that because I just drove it in and fixed the other problem. I have two bolts in the front we're going to take off, and then we're going to, after I get these clamps loose, I'm going to soak it again with WD-40. When it's warm, it'll suck that WD-40 right in there. So we're going to be able to reuse them clamps. I have brand new ones right in stock. So now, actually, we're going to put the hood down, and we're going to take the front grille out, and it should take 11/16 on the nuts to hold it in. It goes right to the clutch area. Let's see. The grille's a little bit caught in there. There it goes. We're just going to drop it down, and right underneath here, I'll try to get you in there. We have two nuts to take off. They're going to take 11/16 to take them off. Now they're going to have washers, And we're gonna try to get them off. I have to take my gloves off. Now we're ready to take the muffler off. Now I'm using a dead blow hammer. And there we go. Now this muffler here it's an aftermarket one, but I am going to try to fix it. You can see, oh, both sides are moving. So, no, it is not an aftermarket. I'm wrong. 223, 292 C1, that is an International Harvester part number, but I don't see the international emblem on it. Usually the originals had an international emblem on it. This is a Cub Cadet build, but a lot of their parts were left over, so we're going to spray it down real good. We're going to put the clamps on. If you struggle putting them on, you might have to loosen up the exhaust manifold a little bit. Was able to get this one here. We're going to use that dead blow hammer. Now you want to get it all the way on, and the reason why, there's the slots right here. If you don't get them all the way on, it's going to leak out them. I'm going to use a piece of wood. See how close we are now. And we're in great shape, so we're going to tighten it up. This is the look you're looking for right there. If you don't get them on all the way, you're going to have an issue. You're going to have some leakage right in this area right here. So we're going to tighten them up, and then we'll put... Now, I always keep the nuts on the top side. Spray this down a little bit. Put the washers back on. We're going to tighten that up. One thing about a muffler on a KT-17 or M18, they're never going to fall off as long as you have them tight. So that's one issue you'll never have. So let's start it up and let's hear it run. cover back on, and that might be a little bit of a stunt show. So I'll take your time doing that. You have your dipstick you have to work around, your coil. And now we're going to put the side bolts in. And the reason we're going to wait to put the nuts on the top on the exhaust manifolds is so it flexes a little bit, because it's going to be a little bit of a job, a little bit of a challenge. Not going to tighten them up until I have them both in. Of course, this one's going to go in real easy. This one here is going to be just a little bit tighter. Actually, I'm going to take my glove right off. I'm going to get a different screw too. So we're in good shape. Now we're going to go to the other side, get them in, and then we'll put the 5/16 ones in the manifold, and then we'll tighten the ones on the front of the bonnet here, or the heat shield. I am going to be honest, these bolts here went in a lot better than I anticipated, to be very honest with you. I've had them really fight. This one here was not bad, and now we're putting the top ones in, then we'll get everything tight. Really, thank you for watching my videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Really helps me out. Job is really easy. And you can imagine how much quieter this will be. Three-eighths here. Now I have a lot of comments on people that love that I tell what size it is. It just makes it handier for you. When you work on the same brand time after time, you learn the sizes, and that's one reason why I particularly don't like working on John Deere, because John Deere is mostly metric. And the old ones, of course, they're not. But you don't know the sizes because you don't work on them every day. These 82 series I work on, 1811s, pretty much every day. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And like always, we'll see you on the next video.